What's good people, and welcome back to the channel here on KRUBOY Productions. My name is BK, and this is the Silly, Nerdy, and Wordy podcast, episode number 73. And in this episode, I'll be giving my spoiler review thoughts on the new Amazon MGM film from Prime Video, Heads of State. And what's going on, everyone? Hope everyone is doing very well as the summer rolls on into July. Let's get right into this spoiler review. This film is directed by Ilya Naishuller. His previous projects include Nobody. He directed the film Nobody back in 2021. Of course, the sequel, Nobody 2, will be releasing in August of this year. He is not the director on this sequel, but he did the first one. His other project include Hardcore Henry. That was in 2015. Also, he directed Biting Elbows, The Stampede, which was a music video back in 2011. Now let's move on to the cast. The three leads are Idris Elba, Priyanka Chopra Jonas, and John Cena. Others include Patty Considine, and Patty is also in the show that just ended, that also just got a renewal for a season 2. And of course, I'm talking about Mobland, which I'm just getting into. I'm halfway through it, really enjoying it. And so Patty is on that show as well. And then we get to Jack Quaid. He is in this film as well. And Jack Quaid was the lead in the film that was in March. I'm talking about Novocaine. That was a fun movie there I saw back in March of 2025. And then we also have Stephen Root, and we have Sarah Niles. Sarah Niles is doing some good things because she has this movie now, Heads of State, but also currently in theaters. Sarah Niles is in F1 Formula One, the movie, which is currently in theaters, that released back on June 27th. I did see that movie, really enjoyed it, loved it very, very much. She plays the character of Joshua Pierce's mother. Really cool. She's got that movie going now in theaters, and now she has this one streaming on Prime Video. Nice, fun fact. Now, in terms of this movie, overall, I thought it was okay. Not too great. For me, I think Priyanka Chopra Jonas was the standout for me, despite the other two lead, Idris Elba and John Cena, which I like those two actors. But for me, whenever Priyanka was on screen and her role and her lines is when I really cared about the story. She just made more of an impact in terms of her character and her writing, what was given for her, and the way she executed her lines and the action she had. So she was it for me, and she started out the movie with her, and then for a time her character left, and it was just John Cena and Idris Elba and the other supporting cast. But once she re-entered the story, then for me, it felt like the movie picked up. This was a fun action movie in terms of the story. John Cena plays a sitting U.S. president, and which also happens to be a very popular A-list action movie star actor. Interesting choice. And then Idris Elba plays the United Kingdom Prime Minister. And so they really don't get along too much. And so they have these little battles, and then they go on this trip that's just supposed to be a photo op on Air Force One, and Air Force One ends up getting attacked. And then they have to get out of the plane and go and find their way of who's sabotaging them, who's against them. And so the story goes on from there. And then at some point, Priyanka Chopra Jonas' character enters the story. So some of the things I liked about the story, the hand-to-hand combat, particularly with Priyanka's character, I did enjoy what they gave her and what she's done. Of course, she's been doing a lot of action in her career, so great job with her and her stunt double and stunt team, stunt choreographers. I really enjoyed what they gave her and how she executed it, her action scenes, as well as the other action scenes. Enjoyed that. And then also in terms of how she left the story, like I said at the beginning, but then when she re-entered, the way they told the story in a flashback, it was very flashback slash montage, very quick, funny way that they did that. And then they did it again with Idris Elba's character as well. So it was a fun way to tell the story, how they re-entered the story after leaving or being presumed dead, both of their characters, when then they were not. I did like that, but this movie didn't really do it for me too much, didn't really get me going, get me excited, but every movie is not going to do that. And in terms of the twists and turns, there was an inside person inside the government that was helping manipulate and do these things, and there was a nice twist that it ended up being, you thought it was one person, which was the chief of staff, but then it ended up being the vice president. So that was a nice twist on the story. Another thing I liked is that the story of this film, they went to many locations, 8 locations to be exact. And I'm just going to look on my notepad here because I wrote them all down. So they went to London, England, then Côte d'Azur, France, then Belarus, Russia, Trieste, Italy, and then Warsaw, Poland, Austria, and then finished up with Zadar, Croatia. So the story took place over all of those different countries. So I did enjoy that. So really liked how they did that. And then also just a small thing, they used former Meet the Press anchor Chuck Todd in some of the news clips. So that was a nice touch. And, sometimes movies have done that from time to time in terms of using real life news anchors. I know they've used like CNN news anchors from time to time, like Anderson Cooper has been in some stuff in Marvel movies or DC movies. Nice thing that they had that as well. And then the way the film ended, there was a quick, you could almost call like a mid-credit scene between Priyanka Chopra Jonas and Jack Quaid. It seems like they have left the door open a little bit for a potential sequel, depending on how this film does on a Prime Video. So to be determined, but they gave themselves an option for that. There were some nice funny lines, the puns that Priyanka's character had. I thought it was pretty good. It hit with me. So this movie was, I don't know, it was okay. Not great, but definitely a good streaming movie for me. So the pacing was all right. For the most part, it did get slow towards the middle there, but this was just an okay movie. That is pretty much all I would say. So yeah, this was okay. That's gonna be all I have to say for this film. So if you like what I'm doing here, subscribe, like, comment, let me know in the comments what you thought about this movie. Are you going to watch this Amazon movie on Prime? If so, let me know. If you've already seen it, let me know your thoughts and what you thought about this film. Are you going to watch it, or maybe you're going to skip it or wait? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, or let me know your thoughts in a review if you're listening or watching this on Spotify or Apple or wherever you get your podcasts, which you can listen to this podcast. So let me know there. I'm also on YouTube Music if you want to watch on there or listen. So that is going to be all for today. So until next time, we will talk soon.